Hi, I'm Eva. I go to school at DTU, or the Danish Technical University.
My name is Caroline. I am 22 years old and I live in Copenhagen.
My name is Amalie and I am 25 years old and I also live in Copenhagen.
Hi, my name is Sophie. I grew up in Denmark and now I live in Copenhagen studying international business and I'm 24 years old.
What platforms do you use mostly to consume content?
A platform called Zetland. That is a media that I pay for and they will read the news for me so I can listen to them when I'm back to work.
Instagram or TikTok most.
Instagram and Facebook, because being in Denmark, Facebook is used a lot.
How often do you check your social media?
Every day.
A lot of time, too many times.
Yeah.
A lot. I check it a lot in the morning, when I go to bed, throughout the day.
Do you follow any influencers or content creators for news and information?
No, I don't think so.
From like a local news station Instagram page, but it never gets posted.
Where do you primarily get your news from?
That is from Zetland, but also websites, so Danish news sites. Zetland is Danish, yes.
If the news is on TikTok, but I watch the news.
Local stations we have here called TV2 and DR.
I'd say podcasts and TV shows.
And how do you determine if a news source is trustworthy in Denmark?
I'll only use the sites, like the sites that I know. So I know that they're trustworthy, the government pays for the media to be produced.
It's pretty clear that like when they're all reporting the same thing, then I see, okay, like there's not one incident that one is talking about where it's maybe a bit skewed. And then
Do you ever think that Danish media leaves room for misinformation or polarization?
I think there's definitely room for a lot of biases and very left-winged.
But you can definitely feel that some newspaper are like more to the other side than...
it's not as strong as in the States.
Yeah. Do you prefer watching Danish produced content, or do you think global streaming platforms have made Danish audiences more interested in international entertainment?
I only watch Danish.
I've learned so much English through watching like American shows like Friends or New Girl. Like without having that access, the shows that people would watch, I think screen time would go down.
Do you actively search for your news, or does it mostly come across you while you're scrolling?
I actively search for it when I want it and then I don't see a lot of it when I don't.
It sounds really bad, but I come across it mostly while scrolling, or I'll see something and I'll be like, oh, is this true? Maybe on like Instagram or TikTok, and I'll go and look it up online because I want to know, is this actually what's going on? And
do you think streaming services have changed the way people consume network?
Yes, I definitely believe it has. People might get a lot of fake news.
I don't know many people that strictly watch news on like channels like on TV. I think it's definitely changed how much people view the news and are aware of what's going on, and it makes them have to like actively seek it. Or
do you think social media spreads more misinformation or reliable news?
Social media is a good mix of both. I do see the benefit in also having just easily accessible, but there's the risk that everyone can produce news, which I think is a huge risk.
I really think it depends a lot on like your algorithm. We've always heard like that Fox News spreads a lot of fake news, so I don't know. I think if I see something from that, I probably just scroll.
But I've seen a lot of fake news from the United States.
Yeah.
And,
Sorry.
and in Denmark, in school, we actually learn about fake news and work with fake news from the United States and what it looks like.
How to source it.
But I don't think there's a lot of fake news here in Denmark.
more misinformation, I'd say. A lot of the things that I've seen, at least, is a lot of really absurd stuff. The story has been dragged out of proportion. You have to take news with a grain of salt when getting it shown.
And do you think AI-generated content affects the way you trust news?
Yeah, I would definitely be way more skeptical towards any news that I read on social media where I don't know the origin.
It's kind of scary if the news is being like produced by AI, but I think it's the way it's going. I just think you need to be smart with how you use it so it doesn't like completely take over.
Yeah.
100%. I've seen some like AI videos where I, for maybe a split second, thought it was real, and then I was like, this is AI content, this is scary. Has opened my eyes to be a bit more aware of when people are using AI and how they're using it.
What direction do you believe we're heading in with news?
I think we're heading in a direction that, as mentioned, is very polarized, so that everyone can make their own news and give their own perspectives.